emojis in those thought bubbles too. Yeah, it sounds easy. But here's the thing, friends. I want to challenge you with this. Could the thought of I've tried and they don't want to be preventing you from actually making it work? Right? Yes, we're all like, conviction. Because often, every so often in our business, we're going to find ourselves doing this. I still do. Where we are using a past experience to tell us what can happen in the future. So we're going to make a commitment to let that go, and you are going to become that business builder and excel at it. And it's going to become your top skill because you intentionally had to learn how to do that thing, right? So that's what I did. Can we get a raise of hands? Are we committing, letting old thoughts go? Yes? Okay, awesome. So we're all in. So let's look at how to do this, how to work with people and build. It looks like knowing that anyone that comes to Plexus is going to fall into two different buckets, all right? Bucket one is our product people. We love them. Most of us were them. Just to get a perspective here, by a raise of hands, who came to Plexus just to be a product person? Okay, look around you. Almost everybody. Same here, right? Number two, our second bucket is product and business people. These are people who might come for both, or they tell us they just want products, but they secretly want the income, right? That's our favorite bucket. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about what to do with the product people, the people who come just as customers and use +1 effectively. All right, so for product people, you are going to teach them, you are going to use +1 with them. Write down that word, I'm using it with them. And the business people, we are teaching it and showing it to them. So we're using the same strategy in two different ways. So for the product person, what that looks like, every single customer that I get, I have a practice, once again, are you selling or are you building, of asking them, hey, so I'm so excited for your products to come on their way. You know, while you wait, I just want to ask, are you interested in the income side of Plexus at all? Just so I can serve you best. This is a very hands-off question. It's like, hey, in the future, is this something? You know, and often it leads to beautiful, powerful, wonderful conversations. I get the timid yeses, but I don't know if I'll be good at it, or the maybes. And with those timid responses, even if they're shy, I know that this person is in bucket 2. They're not just a customer, right? And the important thing here, friends, write it on those notes, like Jory said, is ask. You have to ask every single person, and you have to re-ask, because people's belief, people's ability levels change, right? So raise a hand again. Who had to be asked more than once if they would share Plexus with people who are interested, right? Everyone's like, 27 times, 2.5 years. Like, everybody has that story here. So that just reminds you, never take their current answer as their forever answer, right? Because you've limited their potential and capped that off. So this is a sample message I sent. Now on the flip side, if they say, no, you know, I just want to be a customer, totally fine. We've actually teed ourselves up really well to use the +1 on them next very effectively with them, right? So I sent a message back that looked something like, hey, totally fine, really excited for you to experience the good results. And you know, we actually have an incredible referral program where you have a link right now and your friends and family can use these products with you. And it's actually what most of my customers do, because you know how you're just more, you get better results with an accountability partner. Do you want me to send you some info on how to make a cart? And then Brooke's line, I don't know, it might be fun, right? And I often send this in a voice message. They can hear the ease and relaxation of my voice, and almost always it's a yeah, send me how to make a cart. And that's often, and when you're re-asking, this is often gonna lead to them grabbing a mom, grabbing a friend, because they're not feeling that pressure, they're in their comfortable space, and it lends itself really well to the soft launch of, hey, guess what, 2 more people, and you're actually gonna earn X amount of money. Can you think of just 2 more? I don't know, for me it was my mom, my sister, and we often see people that make 1 referral, they break that hesitancy, that unknown of how to make a cart, and it's easy for them to move on to 2 more. And then, hey, I know you said you just wanted to be a customer for now, but you're already earning quite a lot. So you want me to just show you what it looks like to do a little more, right? And we can slowly soft launch them into that build. And because you've done the +1 with them and you've told them about the referral program, it's easy to say, your mom that ordered from you, does she have a friend who might be interested in the products with her? Because she has that link as well, and you can help her make a cart. And then we help them move from silver to senior silver and have that strategy of building versus just customer gathering, right? So that's what we do with our product people and how we can move them in there. And I want to just remind you, make this your #1 skill. If you could focus on anything, really sharpen this up, and you're gonna start seeing results with your new thoughts around it, right? Okay, so moving on to bucket 2, my absolute favorite bucket. This is that pot of gold. This is our product people. Our business people, our people that are product and business, my favorite to work with. Now, in case that thought bubble is popping up again, and you're like, Amber, I don't have anybody that wants to build this. Sounds nice, but I don't have anyone, right? We're gonna talk about really quickly how to attract people to build the business. Do you know how you do it? You talk about it, right? So simple, we overcomplicate it. You talk about it all the time. In fact, one thing I have my team do, they're up there, is I tell them, I want you to take at the end of every month, I wanna know how many business posts they made. I want them to go through their story archives and tell me how many times they talked about the business, because we need a log to make sure we are actually really talking about it and not just defaulting to our more familiar zone of products, right? And then the second piece is having a lot of confidence and energy when you're talking about the business, right? I heard it said recently that confidence is a sound. We can't play it on a soundtrack, but we know it when we hear it. It's an energy, it's a vibration, right? And on the flip side, we know it when we don't hear it. We can't quite pinpoint, but we know. So if you are struggling with having energy and confidence in your business, being able to attract business builders because maybe you aren't quite sure what to do with them. Have you ever had that feeling where someone goes, hey, can you tell me how I can earn money in Plexus, or I want to start with you, and you're like, deer in the headlights, oh my gosh, what do I do? Right? They said yes. And it's that fear of that feeling or knowing that we're not quite sure that can prevent us from having the energy we need to pass on. So this is where you can use +1. This is where I use +1, that visual of the build to help me know that anybody that came in, anyone that said yes to me, I didn't have to cross my fingers and hope it worked out for them. I knew what they could intentionally create because it wasn't based on their audience size. It wasn't based on how many people they knew or influential they were, but the power of the build and the +1. They could be that scared 23-year-old and their mom could go diamond in 11 months because of our business model, right? So you always have that. In fact, just a very vulnerable moment. I've been with Plexus 12 years, right? A diamond for 8 or 9 of those. A couple years ago, it had been a full year since I had any level 1 gold or up, rank up business builders. And I was personally feeling quite bad about myself with that. Do I even know what I'm doing anymore? And it was grasping the love of network marketing and the power of this business model and that renewed vision of the build that helped me go back into it with all excitement. And last year, here's the good note, last year, using this same strategy, I had 10 level 1 gold or above rank ups. And 7 or eight of them are here today with us. Just started their business last year. Thank you. It's been amazing. We have such a good time. But that is just to show that at any point you can come back to this and use it as your guiding light, right? So how to start business builders. You're like, Amber, great. Tell me how that 10 happened, right? You're going to use this simple acronym called VBS. If you're on my team, you're chuckling because you know how much I love a good acronym and I'm going to fit anything into one. So here you go. Easy to remember. First one is vision. This is that example of the +1, the build, showing it to them and teaching it to them. My girls, my team up there, they'll tell you, I did not tell them, hey, look, you can refer 17 people. You've all seen that graphic around, right? After they got to that 3 or so place and they were kind of in it with me, we got on a Zoom. I have an ugly PowerPoint. And I show them an example of what can happen in network marketing. I put this vision, this GPS, this roadmap in front of them so that they know what's possible. That's the first, the vision. Make sure they know what they are trying to create so they don't end up going, man, I'm out of people. They know what the possibility is. Second, B, belief. Vision is knowing where you're going. Belief is knowing that you can achieve it, right? And belief is something that has to be refueled constantly. It's not just once, it's over and over and over and over again. I got belief from some of you walking up to me today saying, thank you for your training. That fueled me with belief to be here right now. So it's a constant thing. So that belief is gonna look like chats, connections, Zooms, Diamond Docs, any way that you can get them in a space of other people. It can be coffee, it can be meeting up, whatever it is. Make sure they're connected to others and being fueled with that belief of what's possible. I often, just as an example, friends, when I ask myself, are you selling or are you building? Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what am I gonna do for work today? Because I'm not a very organized person. And I'll grab my phone and I will just start voice messaging my girls. I'll start voice messaging my builders, and I'll just say, I want to remind you what I see in you, what's possible for you. And can you tell me again your dream and why you're doing this? Because that's that belief fueling, right? That I always want you to come back to if you're uncertain of what to do or to help somebody with. And so the next is S, that's our skill development. Now, you'll see that skill development is last in the VBS because often we think, hey, if there was better trainings or I had better systems or maybe a cuter IPA sheet, right, then they would do the thing. But that is never the case because it is believing that they can and knowing why they are that causes them to do the thing, right? So always go to those first two, come back to skills. And this is gonna look like plugging them into your own trainings, your own video recordings, someone else's IPA sheet. Don't take the time making them. And we have an awesome place to get started. If you're like, Amber, I'm not even sure what the skills are. The basic ones, the needed ones, are right there in the Go app. If you haven't started watching those, please do. It's fabulous. And you're gonna pull people back to this. I'll often look at my girls' business and just look at the sticking point and go, awesome. They'll hear me tell them this all the time. Guess what? Just with a little skill development right there, you're gonna hit into the next space. And so we're very unemotional about this and just into actions and trainings, right? So you're gonna do this VBS over and over and over again, friends. Don't go try to find the next shiny thing. We're all like Dory, right? Like, what's the shiny thing? What's the shiny thing? Nope, you're gonna always come back here to the VBS, vision, belief, and then systems and training.
Preach.
So to recap this, the +1 is the power of our business, all right? Whether you're using it with a customer, you're using it to give yourself clarity and confidence, or you are showing and teaching it to your new gals who want to learn, it's where you come back to. There are no secrets. There's nothing hidden. You are fully capable. if I can pour that belief back to you, when my mom went diamond in 11 months, it took me a little over 3 years, right? She had all the skills and all the belief and a lot of great connections. I had zilch, zero, worse than zero probably. It was a climb. But because of the power of this model, because you can build beyond yourself, I was able to reach that point, and you can too. So if I can just encourage you to hold the vision with gratitude for where you are going, and we'll see you at convention, right?